The 50-20-30 rule is a straightforward budgeting method that has gained significant popularity through various articles, videos, and social media platforms. In this video, I want to explore this rule in detail, including its origins and how it can help you effectively manage your finances. Many people hold the belief that if their current financial strategy seems to be working, there's no need for change. However, this mindset can lead to serious problems over time. Take Blockbuster, for example. At its height, Blockbuster was the leading destination for movie rentals, boasting thousands of stores across the globe. Their business model thrived on physical rentals and late fees, making it a household name. Yet as digital streaming began to emerge, particularly with the rise of services like Netflix, Blockbuster failed to adapt. They ignored the shift toward online rentals and the growing consumer preference for instant access to movies. This oversight ultimately led to their downfall, culminating in bankruptcy in 2010. This example serves as a stark reminder that even successful companies can falter if they don't anticipate and prepare for future changes. The same principle applies to personal finances. Relying solely on traditional financial advice, such as obtaining a good education, securing a stable job, and living within your means, does not guarantee financial success in today's dynamic economy. While these steps are important, they are no longer sufficient on their own. To build lasting wealth and achieve financial security, it's crucial to think ahead and develop a comprehensive financial plan rather than just focusing on day-to-day survival. This is where the 50-20-30 rule comes into play. Introduced by Elizabeth Warren and her daughter Amelia in their book, All You're Worth, The Ultimate Lifetime Money Plan, this rule offers a clear and effective framework for budgeting. It divides your after-tax income into 3 essential categories, making it easier to manage your finances without constant stress about money. It's easy to start using this method, and you can do it in 3 simple steps. By the way, if you're finding this video helpful and want more content like this, comment more below. Let's keep going. Step number 1, understanding your finances. The first step in managing your money is all about finding balance, similar to maintaining a healthy diet. Just as you need the right mix of foods, your finances require a good mix of spending categories. You might wonder why someone can live comfortably on $40,000 a year, while another person struggles with $140,000. Often, it's not about how much you make, but how you balance what you have. When you budget effectively, paying bills and saving for the future becomes much easier. To create this balance, start by dividing your spending into 3 main categories: must-haves, savings, and wants. Must-haves are essential expenses you cannot avoid, such as rent or mortgage payments, utilities, car payments, and health insurance. Savings include money set aside for future needs, like retirement funds or paying off debts. Wants encompass non-essential items and activities, like dining out, entertainment, and shopping. This approach is simpler than maintaining a diet because there are only 3 categories to consider. Once you achieve a balanced budget, your financial stress decreases, and you'll have a clear understanding of your income, how you spend it, and how much goes into each category. Let's take a closer look at the must-haves. These basic expenses have become more challenging to manage over time. In the past, living expenses like mortgages and education costs were lower, making it easier for people to stay afloat financially. Today, many people face significant burdens, like hefty student loans. For example, graduating with over $200,000 in student loans can feel overwhelming. To assess whether your must-haves are manageable, consider statements like whether you worry about having enough money for regular bills or if most of your income goes toward unavoidable payments. Next, let's examine the wants. Ask yourself if you relate to statements such as being unsure what you can afford when shopping or not knowing where your money's going. In the past, people had to save before making purchases, as credit cards weren't as prevalent, making it easier to avoid debt. We often hear, it's not how much you make, but how much you keep. Even though saving is crucial, many of us find it difficult to set aside money. To check your saving habits, see if any statements resonate with you, such as working hard but struggling to save or relying on credit for minor emergencies. If you answered true to any of these, it's likely you're having trouble saving. You may have tried to cut back on essential expenses, but still find it hard to put money aside. So, what's the solution proposed by Elizabeth Warren and her daughter? They suggest the 50-20-30 rule. This method involves taking your net income, what you earn after taxes, and splitting it into three categories. Must-haves, 50%, which covers essential costs like housing and groceries. Savings, 20%, for paying down debt and saving for the future. And wants, 30%, which includes discretionary spending like eating out and shopping. This balanced approach helps you manage your finances more effectively, reducing financial stress and leading to a more secure future. Now that you understand the basics of budgeting, you might wonder how to actually achieve that balance in your finances. This is where step 2 comes in. Before you can start using the 50-20-30 rule, it's important to break free from negative thinking patterns about money. I'm not a self-help expert. I'm just someone sharing insights through my YouTube channel. However, the authors of the 50-20-30 rule explain how to tackle these negative thoughts about finances. Often, we blame external factors for our money troubles, like the economy, our families, or even our age, whether we think we're too young or too old. Recognizing that these blame games are unproductive can help you shift your mindset and approach your financial situation more logically. Start by reviewing all your expenses and income. Make a list of your must-haves, essential bills like rent, utilities, and groceries, and your wants, which are the discretionary expenses like dining out and entertainment. Once you have a clear picture, look for ways to adjust your spending to create room for savings. It's okay if you can't immediately stick to the 50-20-30 breakdown. Starting with a 55-30-15 split is still a step in the right direction. The key is that you're making progress rather than having no savings or budget at all. By starting small and gradually increasing your savings percentage, you can work your way up to your ultimate goal. The final step in managing your finances is to take a close look at your overall spending, focusing on the larger expenses rather than just small savings. While saving a few cents here and there or buying in bulk can be beneficial, the real impact comes from addressing significant costs that you might have accepted as unchangeable. The truth is, many of these expenses can be adjusted. Begin by analyzing your biggest monthly costs, such as your insurance premiums, housing payments, and utility bills. For example, consider shopping around for better insurance rates. Many people don't realize that just by comparing quotes from different providers, they can find significant savings. Similarly, if you own a home, think about whether it might make sense to sell it and rent a more affordable place. Even just getting a roommate can drastically reduce your housing expenses and free up money for savings or other needs. I'm not suggesting you need to live a completely minimalist lifestyle or sell everything you own. Instead, focus on setting achievable financial goals. Start with smaller expenses that are manageable, like your phone plan or streaming services. You don't need advanced knowledge to find cheaper alternatives. Simply doing a quick online search can yield several options. Once you've gained confidence in managing these smaller costs, shift your attention to larger expenses. For instance, you might think about trading in your car for a less expensive and more fuel-efficient model. Not only will this save you money on monthly payments, but it can also help with fuel costs and maintenance. The authors of the 50-20-30 rule provide much more detailed advice in their book, so I highly recommend checking it out before making any major financial decisions based solely on a video. They also explain how to maximize your savings through long-term investing strategies. The essence of the 50-20-30 rule lies in dividing your income into three clear categories: must-haves, savings, and wants. By organizing your finances this way, you'll find it much easier to take control of your income instead of feeling overwhelmed by your expenses. This shift in perspective can lead to more financial freedom and peace of mind. It's also important to remember that there's a limit to how much you can save. This means you should also focus on increasing your income.